Hello again. I just been inspired to want to share my thoughts again on this whole situation, whatever you might call it. But, we all we got at the end of the day. Those that fight for something precious, wholesome, everything. Everybody can talk the talk, man. Like a brother said, man, adults ain't loyal. People are full of shit. Folks are only thinking about themselves. A lot of people, unfortunately, from what's being shown, lack the affinity, let alone the will to want to reach inside and become greater version of themselves, to become mature, to make the best out of the circumstances that they've been given. I know some of them have been grim. A lot of the times it's causality based, not necessarily decision. But in this war, you have to fight for your time with serenity to be able to be in enough peace of mind to even think, to be critical of what's around you. And like another brother had said, people around you are just pretty much agents. Yeah, that is true, man, because they try to take you out of your center of your being, your center of awareness, your center of maintaining your peace of mind. They try to take you away from that because that takes away power from you. Just like they get you to believe in some man outside of you that's gonna, like Santa Claus or Yaldabaoth or Yahweh or Zeus or whoever you pray to at night. And really, it's all a reflection of what is projected in your mind. It's only real if you let it be real. If you don't respond to certain things, it won't affect you. Even if it affects your mind, you might be like, man, this motherfucker did all this and he said this that offended me. Who cares if he ain't in your space, if he ain't hurt your family, she ain't hurt your family, whoever. It doesn't matter. It's bullshit. As men, now speaking for only males, we all we got. Some of us, we don't have no one to tell us the right thing. And especially in this society where everything is up in the air and inverted backwards in wisdom, backwards in morality. You need a brother. I ain't gonna say a father. Because in some ways in your life, you gotta learn to be your own dad. When your dad too busy for you, you gotta learn to be your own father. Because we want to have kids and bring life here, despite the fact that we haven't fully worked out our own issues. It just blows me away. You have to be mature enough to have a family. You can't have a family and not know yourself yet, not yourself figured out. And just getting money and paying bills is not enough to be a man. That's bullshit. That's a feminine way of looking at it, to be honest. That's an earthly, shallow, feminine way of looking at a man. What a man's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be stoic. I'm supposed to have money that is highly improbable for me to obtain. And if I don't have it, I'm a brokey. Or whatever the fuck you idiots call it, right? And that's bullshit. Because it's highly improbable. There's more than enough money to go around for everybody. Everybody don't need Bugattis and Rolls Royces. Everybody don't need $200 million mansions, $10 million mansions. Everybody don't need that. You got a lot of people out here homeless because of the fucked up decisions in politics that led to the economy and inflation rising more than the wage payments, the wage costs or whatever. Everything's gone up so high that the jobs can't pay for them. So it's not a sustainable form of inflation, but it's an unstable it's structured to where people have less power, then you take away people's morality and sense of community, or at least in common decency when dealing with one another. And then you have a bunch of savages running around shitting each other, robbing each other, raping each other, while the powers that are in charge pretty much can just manipulate the masses into doing whatever. And most folks are just gonna go with it. This is one of the reasons why you need brotherhood. If you got a young brother that don't know, can't figure out, you're supposed to be there and tell that brother, you know what I mean? But don't tell that brother, fuck you, I'm only listening to the female, I'm only helping the female, or I'm trying to reach the females, or what about the little boys? You got grown-ass men that would take care of a grown woman who has help, who has resources, before they take care of a little fucking boy. Dude, that sound fucking crazy. Hell, even a little girl, they rather take care of a grown woman than a little fucking girl. What kind of shit is that? What about the children? You know? Yeah, I say fuck a lot of evil children or whatever. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about good people. People who don't know. They didn't even get the chance to find their inner light. And the people that they were supposed to trust with their upbringing just completely exploit them at their lowest point in life. It's sick. And I'm not talking about when they are an infant. I'm talking about when they're not even fully developed as a person and they just fuck them up before they even get started. And you tell me, why don't I have kids? Are you fucking delusional? I know I don't have no friends in this life, but we ain't never gonna get shit done if we sit up and not try to encourage each other to find our potential, reach inside, let go of the false, you know, and I ain't talking about some religious or philosophical rhetoric. I mean, harnessing one's inner potential, being creative, being integral, being all that, intellectual, reaching a level of intellect that transcends conceptual reasoning. That's logical and concrete, but logical in a wise, esoteric sense that transcends all limitation. It's not your ability to punch hard or fuck hard or project energy beams or telekinesis and all that shit, or being the best fighter so in case you go to prison you can protect your manhood. No, man. The best weapon you got to protect yourself is your mind. And I ain't talking about your thoughts. I mean, the ability to be able to decipher and maneuver and create a path for yourself, even when there's no opportunity. And yes, it takes a certain amount of willpower and spirit to do that. And yes, it takes a lot of beatings, unfortunately, for you to build that inner strength. You know, but it's really fucking hard. It's really hard to walk in the world where everyone got more than you. They can see better than you. They can move faster than you. You might be stronger than them. You might be more creative than them, but you got less than them. So it's tough. Oh yeah, and they got more favor than you. And I imagine you got to be creative and make more out of what you got than what they got. You can see better than them. You just can't see as clearly as them. You see more than they see. It's a good way to illustrate that one must utilize creativity and potential, will and intuition, character, all these things. That's what makes a person carve their path to being a great grid master of their journey and their inner life and their experience, right? I don't give a fuck if I'm rich or poor. I still want to leave this state. It's not even a place. That's an illusion. It's just a state of being that you're forced to encapsulate, forced to be encapsulated in due to a cosmic mishap. That's all it really is when you think about it. Just like I was talking with a friend that come here and borrow money from a friend who I volunteer with. Me and was talking about it. I asked him, I imagine comprehending infinity. He said, he one of those people that talk about Jesus. I ain't gonna lie, but I was saying, don't put yourself down. You know, it's all about, having balance in yourself. Because once you understand infinity, you don't need to conceptualize it. Because we all come from that and go back to it anyway. And of course, he was passionate, so he didn't fully grasp all the way what I was saying. And he was so happy he was talking, so he didn't hear everything I was saying. But he get the gist of what I was saying somewhat. But people fearing death, why the fuck would you do that, There's no point in fearing the inevitable. Why fear the origin of all things? Even all things that's limited. There is no all. You can't conceptualize one infinite state or one infinite thing or being. You can't put no number on it. You can't bifurcate it with vision and conceptual cerebral processes and imaginary parameters of your, I guess you could say, astral mind or mental mindscape. Infinity is one infinite thing. You can't comprehend that, so your brain near death will perceive that as nothing. Yeah, I said that too last night. But it's not nothing. It's not another universal material astral 3D 4D realm either. It's fucking beyond all that shit. Now some people can go straight down, some people want to go spiral up densities and play with this shit. I don't care about 40, 50, 60, 70, I don't give a shit. Go back to the origin and hope another fragment of myself don't come back here. I used to feel like we all descend from the same thing, but we're so divided amongst ourselves and immersed in our individuality and our subjective preferences due to our conditioning in our lives that we forget that we were of one thing. I ain't talking about race. I ain't talking about reptilians, astral entities, none of that shit. I'm just saying, like, objectively, this is a sick fucking joke. It's a cosmic turd. Euphemistically, comparably, it's euphemistically a turd comparably to the potential that we all have. So I say this. I say it because it's supposed to hit home. Make you think about this. What this really is. What you really are. You can get money, you can bang whores. If you're a woman, you can get money and get banged by multiple dudes, who cares? But that shit takes away from your spirit, and you'll never find the peace you have when you're on your own, when you haven't given yourself to that lifestyle. You will find it far easier when you finally get to this point in your life when you didn't do those things as much or not at all. So, I mean, it's all about the inner light. But it's like water, man. You got a cup of water. You want everybody sipping out your water cup and not cleaning their mouths? You don't know what they have in their saliva when they backwash into your water. Then you drink it. You like, why are these things happening to me? It's just like, yeah, what he said last night, soul ties. You get soul ties, man. You start, what's wrong with my life? What's going on? What the fuck? What's going on? You don't know. You pretty much put a crux on yourself. And it takes a while, and it takes a lot of work to get that shit off of you. Some people never get that shit off. You see a lot of them out here today, they didn't deal with the devil too much, but their spirit already had the affinity to go that route anyway. But then when they did those things, it affirmed and confirmed it. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it really gets deep. Some got the wisdom to see it. A lot of people just gonna say, "Oh man, you talking shit about gender." A woman might say, "Oh, you talking shit about women," and then you got some men say, "You a simp. You hate men, dumb shit. You stupid motherfucker. Listen to the whole video. Then talk shit." No, one trigger word. That's all it takes. I see what people mean when they say NPCs. But I don't like to delve into that. You know what I'm saying? I like to look at people as people, but I know deep down that a lot of us ain't the same. We don't have the same principles. Some of us don't give a shit about each other and only think about ourselves like animals, worse than animals even. I've seen dogs have compassion to an extent. So, I mean, I can see wolves having compassion. Humans, even, I've seen parents be cruel to their children and not give a shit about their children. I never seen a dog do that, or a tiger or a lion. I never seen that, but a fucking human is just downright trash. Or it can be a downright gift to the world. They're gonna duality, but it's the truth. And that's why I say we got people that's in like the truth, being authentic, helping one another. We have to do this shit, you know. Some of y'all I absolutely agree with. Some things I don't, but I see your point. But some of these things you gotta look past, because if we don't do shit as a group, we ain't gonna have nothing. You look at all these groups out here, all these wicked ass groups. They're making it, they're thriving because they all see eye to eye, or they trying to get something, out of the group. And they're gonna benefit because they all work as a unit. When they see an outsider, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna harass them and persecute them. If you working for these people, they're gonna make it hard for you unless you join their group. It don't have to be a fraternity. It don't have to be a gang. But it's just a hive mind thing. If you're not willing to sell your individuality, and not a false sense of individuality just to say you're an individual, but I mean your principles, your integrity, just to fit in and have resources, leisure, and comfort. Is it worth it? To some it is. Some feel like they ain't got no choice. They did have a choice, but they didn't have the will and intuition to see it. So they went with it. That's why I speak about it takes strength. It does take strength, because it's easy to throw people under the bus to save yourself. Yeah, you're going to feel bad about it later, but it's hard to go through that shit and say, hey, like I was looking at this Korean manga yesterday, and the man took a potion from one of the Greek goddesses or whatever, and took it to Hephaestus. And he said the man wasn't even tempted to drink out of it. He could have turned him into a god, but then he was about to change his mind at the last minute, and Hephaestus drunk it. He didn't even know the dude was about to take it for a split second, because it tempted him, because his life sucked. So he wanted to become a god. or at least get a cheat. But it's good he went through not doing it because he ended up getting rich. I mean, it's a long story, but it's best to keep your integrity, man, because that take you a long way in life. It might take years, it might take months, it might take weeks, but it'll come. Just gotta wait for the right time and hold on to that rope until you get it. That's why it takes strength. Strength is important, but not how big your muscles can get and how much you can lift. There's so much the human body can lift, but there's so much your mind and your will can endure and push. There's so much you can pull and lift and hold with your mind. You can create something to hold something physically that you can't. It has happened throughout history, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're poor, don't complain about being poor and resort to selling poison to people so you can get a quick buck. If you're poor, don't sell your body because you got nothing else to offer, tarnishing yourself in the process. Endure that shit and be creative, man. Yes, it's hard. You gotta fucking grind that shit until you reach your later years and you could do it effortlessly because all the years, blood, sweat, and tears you put into your craft and your potential and your means of accessing it will be much worth it. And it becomes effortless to you to where people start thinking you're a genius. But your genius isn't in your natural talent. Your genius is in your willpower, your creativity to forge that path for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Somebody look at this as holier than thou stands. I ain't perfect. Why do I gotta say it? I ain't shit. Now I might have character or whatever, but I'm still not shit, man. I ain't perfect. But I hope this was inspiring for people. But I gotta get on with my day, cause I got a bunch of stuff I gotta do. I'm probably gonna get me some tea later. But I appreciate whoever listened. Thanks.